everybody. Welcome to Corsairathletics.com as we're getting set for another basketball season and an interesting winter season it figures to be here at UMass Dartmouth. I'm joined by the head coach of the women's basketball team, Matt Ducharme, whose team had a tremendous season last year, 19 wins, a share of the Little East Conference regular season championship, making it to the conference's semifinal. Really a tremendous year for your team last year and aspiring to greater heights now. Have you stopped at all to reflect on where this was to where it is?
From time to time. I mean, it's tough because you always want to just keep looking forward and what's next and how can we get better and how can we keep kind of this run of new records every year going. You sit back, I guess the summertime you sort of get a chance, even though you're recruiting as much as you can. But it's nice to see when I was a student at UMass quite a few years ago now.
You and me
remembering,
both.
You know what it's like. Just remembering what the program was like. Even when I first started working there 10 years ago, what it was like and where it's come, it's great. I mean, I'm just so proud of what the people before me started it, and hopefully I can keep it going.
So you were counting pretty heavily last year on having a senior point guard in Kelsey Garrity, who really is what picked the program up and put you guys on the map, a big part of that. And she played a ton of minutes, and you had that advantage of having an experienced point guard. She knew what she was doing late in games. You could trust her with the ball. And of course that's out now because of graduation, but it also does give you an opportunity to kind of remake the team a little bit. You don't necessarily have to be a team that runs every single thing through the point guard. So has that given you an opportunity to be a mad scientist on the whiteboard here at all and figure out some different things you want to try this year?
We are, I mean, first of all, losing Kelsey it's a big loss. We had 4 years of really never getting pressed because they couldn't press when she was in the game, and just leadership on the court. So with her gone, it was very much, obviously, one of our big imperatives was to find a new point guard or point guards to sort of take that role. And then hopefully open up different offenses. We are implementing a new offensive system this year, which has been trying at times at the beginning of the season, preseason, but so far we're starting to get it, and I think we're gonna see a lot more sharing of the ball, a lot of movement. I'm excited for that. Replacing her has been tough. We have 2 point guards on the roster right now, true point guards, and a third player combo guard that can take up some of the duties. And we got a freshman coming in out of Providence, out of St. Ray's Academy, Danielle Gonzalez, who's really done a good job this preseason. And we have a transfer coming over from Chestnut Hill Division II as a sophomore this year. She'll also share some of those duties. She's done a great job this preseason as well.
And it looks like the inside game has a chance to be a real strength for you because Megan Ronigan, a preseason All-American this year, according to D3Hoops.com, and she certainly played like it for almost all of last year. And Alicia Cutil, as a freshman, looked like she was on her way to getting into that type of territory as well. So those are the two we know about that we've seen play for you on the floor, but you've been recruiting and you've been trying to change the mix. What can we look for in and around the basket this year?
We have a lot of exciting things going on there. For the last probably 5 years even, we've had a very strong post game, whether it was Colleen Moriarty, one of the all-time greats in the program, and we had Erica Borneman follow that up, and then Megan came in, and she really just sort of owned it. Like I said, as a sophomore winning Conference Player of the Year is pretty impressive. We brought a local girl in from New Bedford Vocational, Nakira Eximond, who's really had
terrific high school player.
Yes, great athlete,
Absolutely.
Unbelievable athlete. She's really been surprised. She's got such raw ability. I see great things for her in this program over the next 4 years. I think it's going to be something exciting, and actually to have local people in the stands will be kind of nice too. And we also got another transfer from Chestnut Hill. It was a 2-for-1 package, which was kind of nice. A girl that we had heavily recruited the year before, got the scholarship, had to take it. Don't blame her. Brienne Mogera, and so she came back. She's a 6'1" post out of Rogers in Newport. So she's added a lot. We're much stronger rebounding team, I think, than we should be this year. So I'm excited.
And so you've got the team ready to go, and then it just becomes a question of how your team can perform, and you judge that from practice and your scrimmages and things. But once we get into the 2016 portion, that's when you really get tested because the Little East Conference is always strong. This year figures to be no exception with schools like Eastern Connecticut doing what they did last year so terrifically. Got a lot of players back from that team. Yep. Southern Maine is the perennial powerhouse that they are. Rhode Island, Western have been good in years past. So what are the things you're emphasizing that you're trying to put in place as you build the team in the beginning of the year so that when you get to that part of the year, they're ready to play and win those big games?
End of last year, which was, I think, a premature end for the team in the semis. I think, we had a team built to go a little further than that. I was hoping to make our first NCAA run. I just thought we had an issue with mental toughness at the end of the year. So this end of the season meeting, we talked about mental toughness. I actually handed out to Jay Billis. He has a book on toughness. He has a nice little book. I love it. And I said, this is what we really need to start thinking. How can we be tougher? Because we turned the ball over too much at the end of that game because we sort of fell apart mentally because we had the skill. So that's something that was our off-season goal on top of obviously getting better at basketball. But how do we get mentally tougher? This year when they came in, it was noticeable. It was just a tougher team, no excuses. It was work hard, get to work, do your job, and steal it from Bill Belichick. But I'm a firm believer in it, and I think you got to embrace your role in the team no matter what. I think we're a very deep team, and because of that, there's going to be some playing time things that go on, and whoever's stepping up and producing that day is going to play a bigger role that day.
There's a number I stumbled on toward the end of last year, and I almost wish I hadn't because it became such a predictor, and that was if you shot 40% for the game, you won, and if you didn't, you almost always didn't. Is that a cardinal rule across basketball, or is that something that was specific to your team? And do you think you can be consistent enough shooting so that it doesn't abandon you at the end of the year?
Our goal is obviously to have a high field goal percentage. I'm a believer in getting. I like to get a lot of shots up as an offensive system. Not a slow it down kind of person. So we have shooters on this team. We lost a shooter to a transfer, which was probably tough for us, but I think as a team we bonded around that, and I saw a lot of people go out and really spend a lot of time getting a lot of shots up over the summer. They came in hitting their shots so far. I think a few people have to step up. Some of the newcomers have really stepped up and shown an ability to hit some outside shots. I don't think we'll be as reliant on the three-pointer this year. We shouldn't be anyways. We have such a good inside presence. I think we'll be attacking the basket a little more too. So hopefully our shooting percentage will actually creep up to the 45%.
All right, Coach, you got some big games coming up starting next weekend, and best of luck to you throughout the year.
Thank you. I appreciate it, John.
That's Matt Ducharme, head coach at UMass Dartmouth. Their women's basketball team getting started next weekend with the Hampton Inn Classic. You'll be able to see it here on CorsairAthletics.com.